Yo, what's up? It's like 2 in the morning. I'm 1:58. I can't sleep. I have insomnia. Whatever. The sleep monster's coming to get my cheeks again. But I want to talk about something I feel like is kind of a serious topic and is not. I don't really see it talked about a lot. So, well, okay. So breakups is like the main topic, but not. It's going to be a little bit more specific. So everyone talks about breakups and everyone goes through a breakup usually like once in their life or a couple more times. It sucks, but it's just something like that for character development. You need it. Everyone faces some sort of rejection. I've already talked about that before on this channel, but like I digress. So sometimes there's breakups, that you don't get over. I think everyone, who's watching this can kind of think of a time that they've had a breakup, right? And it's like it's like hurts and it's like, damn, like that sucks because when does it not suck? But it was like a thing like, oh, you can find a way to distract yourself or you can get over it soon. Like you'll be onto the next thing. But I really don't think that most people actually get over breakups. And this might be a wild thought, but I think that sometimes we confuse the fact that we've grown and that we're on to something new or that we're with a new partner, that we're actually over it. And I wouldn't say like over it is the right word to use or this like right term. And it's because like when you see that person again, there'll probably be some sort of, like something like kind of like we're strangers now. I don't want it to be like too like sappy of a video. And I'm working on a beat right now, so I'll probably like try and mix that in a little bit. But it's like, okay, now we're strangers and we did all this shit together. Like that's not something you can just like erase. And of course they're not bound to by blood and like you never have to see them again ever if you don't want to. But sometimes like people just cross paths again. And it's something like the more you face it, the better it'll get. And it's one of those things, it's like an exposure therapy. Like you'll get better at it the more you expose yourself to it, or the more like you come to terms with the fact that something's true. Um, and the truth in that situation would be, okay, we're not together anymore and we're on to something different. In more extreme cases, you'd probably like have some sort of like traumatic response to seeing someone or like some sort of like, I don't want to say PTSD because that's not what it is. I don't think. I don't know. I'm not a licensed professional. But like you kind of get like that anxiety, like, oh shit, like, you know. Um, and that's why I'm a firm believer that I don't think you ever actually get over a breakup. You can get better at dealing with the fact that it's done. You can get better at, you can grow a lot. Like in my case, like I've grown a lot since this period of time into the next. It's like coming up on a year. Like I've grown exponentially. Like so much shit has happened to me in this past year. Like it's something that like you'd think, when you're like on a good roll, you'd think like, oh shit, like I'm doing good, you know, like I don't really care about that anymore. But I think most of the time, like you'd see that and then all the feelings would just come back, right? So that's why I think you don't get over it. I think I'm gonna cut out some hi-hats. And I think because, it's usually a hard thing to go over a breakup, people don't like to say that they never get over it. Okay, I wouldn't say that like get over it is the right term. I think I already said that. But like I wouldn't, people don't want to talk about that. Like it's just something that is kind of like taboo, especially if you enter a new relationship. Like your partner doesn't want to hear that shit. And to be fair, they don't have to hear it. You can just keep it to yourself, but you can't be in denial of that, because the more you're in denial of something that's like of something that happened, it's just going to come back to haunt you more and more and more. And so as humans, we have to find, coping mechanisms. We have to find hobbies. We have to find people. We have to socially interact. Like, we have to find things not only to distract ourselves, but to kind of like the fruits of life, to like engage ourselves in things other than negative feelings, and like find purpose and find things that we feel like we're meant to be doing. I've developed a lot of habits, right? Good ones, bad ones, but I found things that I really love to do. So one of them, is making music. I've always loved to do that, but because so much of my time has like gotten freed up from that, like it's like, okay, I spent a lot more time doing it, and I spent a lot more time alone too. And I think that's something that is never something that you get used to. You just learn how to do it better. I picked up reading. I love reading now. Okay, I read like every night. I'm just like obsessed with it, and I never would have thought that. I'm like crazy ADHD. I can't focus and shit. And somewhere my brain was just like, hey, you know what? Like, let's start reading. And I went and bought like 4 books, and here I am. So I love reading now. I love doing, my music and shit. And I feel like it's something, you don't always have to find something new when you get out of a breakup, but you have to, like I said, like indulge in something that's not going to become your personality, because your personality should be separate from that, but something that is like a characteristic about you. It's something that people can associate you with. Something so like potent about you that people can't deny it. For some people, coping mechanisms are things like literally going out and getting a new partner right away, which is something like, it really depends on your situation. Like, I can't answer that for you. You have to kind of do that yourself. But, you kind of have to like analyze your situation, where you're at mentally and in your life, and be like, okay, like, what is the best option for me? Am I ready and I was just in a bad situation? Am I not ready? Do I need more time? Do I need to find someone better suit to me? Do I need to be more picky? Like, decide what it is for you. I think I'm gonna scratch that dun 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 dun. I kind of like that little twinkle I did. Yeah. Um. So that's just really like a thought that I had. Um. And like, you can, if you have opposing opinions or anything, you can definitely let me know in the comments. But I really think that's just a universal thing, and it's just really taboo, and people don't want to talk about it. People don't want to talk about the fact that like it's really something that always is gonna be with you. Um, and I like to say this for a lot of stuff. You really never get over anything. It's just that you learn to deal with it better. Sometimes to the point that it's something that almost never crosses your mind, if it even does. It's something like, okay, this is something I want to learn to deal with, and there's no other option. Because at the end of the day, like, nobody is going to come to save you. That's so fucking like end of the world shit. But like, really, it's true. Um, so yeah, that's really about it. Thanks for watching. And if there's any other topics, like, I think I might even go in depth a little bit more about, how to deal with those feelings and stuff. But yeah.